guys, and welcome back to Samantha's Kitchen. First and foremost, I would like to apologise for last week. I have yet again had technical difficulties with uploading. I am hoping now that that will be resolved. So I am going to make a few recipes today, and I'll upload them individually, basically to catch up on last week's missed video. But I'm feeling in a Spanish mood today, and so I'm going to cook 3 Spanish dishes, and they'll be all uploaded individually. So the first part of the trio of Spanish dishes I will cook today is my version of Spanish Pisto. Now it's similarly, it's kind of the same or similar to what you would know as ratatouille, but it's a Spanish version, and there are so many different versions that are handed down traditionally in Spain, and everybody has a little bit of a different way that they do it, little herbs and spices and tricks and treats that they do it. But today I'm going to do my version. Traditionally you'd use a pan and you'd cook this on the stove, but I have found that if you do it in the oven, all those flavours infuse so much more, in my opinion. And so let's get to it and let's go through everything that you'll need for today. So here, sorry, the plate is a little bit full of vegetables, but you should be able to pick it out. I have 1 medium red pepper, 1 medium green pepper. I have a stick of celery. I have 2 small onions, or equivalent to 1 medium-sized onion, a full courgette, and I have a full 1 whole potato, medium size. And then for the herbs and additional fruits, we are going to need some small tomatoes. I've got about 9 here. We've also got some semi-sun-dried tomatoes. I have got about the same again, 9. I've got a heaped tablespoon of tomato puree, a tablespoon of crushed garlic, and then I have half a tablespoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of Himalayan salt or sea salt. I have some smoked paprika, a teaspoon, and a teaspoon of oregano. I've also got 1 whole lemon. Okay, now what you'll need is a glass dish or something along those lines. So first things first, let us squeeze the lemon into this glass dish that I've got that's for the oven, and give it a really good squeeze. You want all that lemon juice of a whole lemon. Bear in mind, if it's a big lemon, please don't put it all in. I've got some diddy ones, so yeah, 1 small lemon or half of a bigger sized lemon. So we put that in there like that. Just wash your hands, and then we will use some olive oil. You'll need about 2 tablespoons of olive oil for this dish. And then, dead simple, preparation is key. It took about 10 minutes to chop all these vegetables and get everything done. So put in our herbs, fruits and the spices. Then we're going to add our vegetables. All these vegetables here, add all them in, and then we're going to give this a really good mix around. So let's mix all this around with all the herbs and the spices, trying not to get it everywhere. Make sure all the oil is coated on all those vegetables. So you've got everything nicely coated. And now we need to add our final thing, which is a tin of tomatoes. So I've got my tin of tomatoes and just add these in. And I'm also going to put in just quarter of the tin, just filled with water, just to give it a little bit more liquid, just cooking. And I'm just going to chop down those plum tomatoes and give it a stir. You can add anything you want to this. If you wanted to add chicken, you could. If you wanted to add beef, you could. Anything. You could add anything to it. Pork, vegan, chicken, anything. The key is that it is a Spanish. I've got this vegetable, and this vegetable. What can I make? And it's all about chucking it in and letting it cook and making a wonderful dish with all your fresh vegetables. Sometimes I add spinach into mine. I also add mushrooms, but I'm making quite a little bit more traditional type one today. So what you do now is you're going to cover this with foil, and then you're going to cook on 130 for half an hour, and then you're going to take the foil off, and then you're going to cook it on 150 for a further 20 minutes, and then we're going to add the surprise, which is obviously a little bit of cheese. So it will go into the oven now, and we'll come back when we're ready to put the cheese on top. Okay, so the Spanish Pisto has had about 20-25 minutes at 120 in the oven, and as you can see, everything's just to start to break down now. I've now uncovered the foil, and it's going to go in now for another 30 to 40 minutes. I've turned up the oven to 150, so I will come back and show you when it's ready to come out. Okay, this has now had about it's had about 40 minutes really. I wanted it a little less liquidy because we're going to put cheese on top, so I have just taken it out now, and I will grate some cheese and then it'll go back in the oven. But as you can see now, all the flavours and all the juices have infused. The potatoes are soft, the other vegetables are soft, so we'll now add the cheese and put it back in the oven. So I've just put enough cheese on just to give it a light coating, not much, about 250 grams of grated cheese, and yeah, this will go into the oven for another 10 minutes until the cheese is melted. Okay, it's been in now for about 10 minutes. The cheese is melted, it's bubbling away. It looks absolutely delicious. Time to serve. So serve it with crusty bread, some broccoli, some asparagus. It's delightful. Anything you have in that fridge, bang it in. Give it a go. Enjoy. Stay safe, everyone.